welcome to the WiseTake DFS Podcast. I am your host, CK013. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. And I'm joined once again by my WiseTake regulars, my core guys. We got Patio Joe. You can find him on Twitter at Patio Joe Ref. That's REF. I'm digging it, bro. I'm digging the whole thing, man. The whole thing you got going on there, man, I am digging it. And we're also, of course, joined by Paulie D, better known as Paulie 8Ds. That's what we've been calling him lately. You can find him on Twitter at Paulie DD. That's 8Ds. How we doing, gentlemen?
We're doing well. We're doing well. Happy to be back.
Been a while.
Yeah. I got to say, I was so happy to just hear that intro. This is awesome. The last 4 days have been brutal. And Joey, if you were out tonight with me in South Florida, 100% closing rate. No doubt about it.
Definitely. They'll see the bald head and it'll be over. It'll be awesome.
I'm digging it, man. I'm like y'all look ready to go. And Joe, I got it, man. I mean, you want to talk about looking the part, man. Damn, man. The All-Star break looks like it's treated you well, man.
Well, yeah. I got some sun, and I'm out on my patio, so I figured I'd show it's summer. It's summertime. You got to be a little more chill on summer. It's basically Friday, so let's have fun on a Friday. I don't see what else is. I figured I'd wear the sunglasses for a little bit until it gets really annoying. So I'll probably take them off at some point. But right now we're just gonna leave it. We're gonna go with it. We're gonna hope more people come in. They're watching us. I know they're loving it.
I'm loving it, bro.
We got something special planned, before we even get into DFS. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What have you been doing, CK? I mean, I know, how have you been doing in Jersey? I mean, everything good?
Yeah.
You been going to Amish Town anymore or anything like that? Are we good?
Not lately. No Amish Town, man. I've been good. Spending time with the family, trying to trying to keep myself busy. Of course, obviously, we just launched 2 weeks ago, so I've been busy. There's always work for me to do on the site, but it's like the DFS is what gives me the justification of the work. So I do all the work on the site, et cetera, et cetera. But then normally I have that, DFS to kind of give me something to do at night and just kind of chill and just unwind and watch the games. Then I have the podcast to look forward to, and if I had a bad night, I could complain about it, and I can I can vent it out a little bit. So I haven't had that. So everything's good. I can't complain, man. Things are good. But it's just not the same when there's not, when there's no action going on.
Definitely. All right, guys. Be honest. I need total honesty here. Who played WNBA last night?
I didn't. I would have though because we had Cuse on there, man. He wrote a pretty good write-up. I thought about it, but I looked around. I couldn't do it. Joe, did you do it?
Joe?
I didn't know. Are you kidding me? No way. I did not have time for that. And
that leaves you, Paulie.
I played. You know what I did? I did football. You know what I mean? I got ready for football because there's something up with my camera. What's up with it? I'm halfway. I don't know what's up. Oh, there we are. Okay, hopefully that's better. I moved it. Okay.
Dude, you look great on my camera, man.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Look phenomenal.
Before we start, I just want to let everybody know. I know I'm not saying that you have to, but if you are in Vegas, September 7th through the 10th. For the Fantasy Football World Championships, you get your chance to maybe meet Patio Joe at the Palms, representing WiseTake. I'm going to be drafting in the World Championships. So it's going to be at a 10,000 square foot suite at the Palms, and a whole weekend is there. It's kind of cool because if you just want to go for the events, it's $140. So I can't wait. It's going to be because all these DFS guys are going to be they're going to come here and they ain't going to know what hit them with Audie Fulton. I'll tell you that much. Audie Fulton, once I'm done drafting, it is on. Okay, that's all I have to say. It is business until the draft is over. And then it is party to the edge of death because that's what white guys do.
Being on the West Coast, do you go to Vegas often?
I mean, not as much as when I'm in my 40s and stuff now, but I mean, when I was in my 20s, we would just be chilling on a Saturday night and be what do you want to do? I don't know. Let's drive to Vegas. Okay,
let's
4 hours.
To Vegas.
4 hours we're there. Well, one of us, we would get a room just in case the gods shined on us, and and then we would stay up basically all night, party all night, and then drive home the next morning.
Oh man.
So, yeah.
Dude, I go to Vegas about once a year, and I'm from Jersey, and I used to go to Atlantic City.
Yeah, boy.
But there's no comparison. The pool parties during the summertime in Las Vegas, that's life.
Oh yeah,
man. You're doing it.
Oh.
You're doing it right when you're doing
Oh man,
that.
AC's terrible now, dude. Like half the casinos have gone bankrupt. Like it's bad.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
It's all you need to do is go to Vegas, and you can see proof of human evolution, because women did not look like that when I went to Vegas at 21. I mean, they just didn't. I mean, they look nice, but they just started to know something called the thong, and they just started to realize something called, shaved, sort of, or trimmed. So, but now I guess things are a little bit different. So, anyways, Vegas there's something for everybody, I must say.
Oh yeah.
Anything you want to do, anything you want to say, it's there. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah. 100%. I'm definitely with that. So there's something that we have to discuss. Obviously, Joe, you were a big advocate of it on Twitter. And so I think we do have to discuss this. Top 5 shows. All time. I think we have to address this. We cannot talk about the slate until we get this off and get this out there. So, Joe, we're gonna start with you. Starting with the fifth option, 1 being the best, right? We're on a ranking scale here for 5.
Yes, correct.
So 5th. What you got?
Number 5 on my list is a show that is very dear and dear to my heart. It was a show of my growing up in high school, and I challenge anybody to give me trivia on this show, and I will beat you. Beverly Hills 90210 is my number 5 show of all time.
What?
That's right. What? The story of the twins from Minnesota moving to California to make it. That's right.
That is the most
Beverly
biased
Hills.
thing.
Brandon and Brenda, the twins.
Oh my God, California
That is
bias.
my number 5 show.
Oh man. All right, that's number 5. That's number 5 for Patio. Beverly Hills 90210. Paulie, what you got for number 5, man?
That's gonna be hard to top, but kind of like similar time period.
Sorry, I'm not trying to do it. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Technical difficulties. So similar time period, similar, relationships on the show. Probably the first show I really got into, Saved by the Bell.
Ooh,
Zach
Saved
Morris,
by the Bell.
Kelly Kapowski.
You were with our boy Robert Kahn in the chat there. I see it right. Saved by the Bell.
Okay.
Same page as you, bro.
Okay, this is a great topic. I swear, we're never even gonna get to DFS. Okay, this is a great topic. The 2 shows that we brought up, what's her name? Tiffany Amber Thiessen played the absolute polar opposite of what a man wants. It's like first she played like the good girl in Kelly Kapowski, the one that you bring home to mom, but then she played the freaking slut Valerie Malone that you wanted to call at 2:30 in the morning because she's the one that was still up partying and likes to do anal. Okay, that's the one that you called. All right, so I'm telling you that those 2 shows were awesome. CK, what's your number 5 show? I don't know if you really can.
Oh man, I was hoping to play host here and stay out of this one. To be honest with you, man.
Oh really?
Yeah, I got one of CK's on my list. So I'll let you guys know.
I kind of like I bailed on the workload. I'm not a good decision maker with things like that. I know it's ironic that I play less lineups and like decisions are key, and like I'm not a real good decision maker in real life. So it's like. But yeah,
Real
so
life,
I'm gonna
as opposed to what this is.
Yeah. Well, this is all fake. Obviously, this is not real. I mean, there's no way that you wouldn't have 3 guys this crazy on a pot. No, there's no way.
No.
Anyway, let's go right to number 4. Joe, what you got for number 4, bro?
Number 4. I'm gonna try and get the theme song for everyone if I can.
He's like back in the cut right now too. Look at him.
Number 4 The only reason why it's probably not up is because the story is not completed yet. It's premiering the 7th season on Sunday on HBO. That's right. Nobody is safe. Winter is coming. Game of Thrones, my number 4 TV show of all time.
Okay. I'm not a big Game of Thrones. My wife loves that show, man, and pretty much everybody else that I know loves that show. I'm just not into it. For Game of Thrones, I'm with it, man. You know, I'm with it. I know it's mad popular. Paul, you got any love for Game of Thrones?
I like it. It didn't crack my top 5, but I'll definitely be watching this Sunday night.
Okay.
You know, it's a good show. Took a little while to grow on me, but after like season 3, you know, I got pretty into it.
Okay. All right. What's your number 4 then?
Mine. This is your show too, The Office.
Yes.
The
Love
classic.
The Office. Love The Office. Love to laugh.
Little comedy.
Yeah, I'm totally biased to that. Yeah. I love to laugh.
Anyone that's worked in an office environment really can relate to that show too. You know, just like really depicted that well.
Yes, it is so true. That is 100% true. Q's got some love for The Office. The Office is great. There you go, Q's. We're with you, bro. Joe, you like The Office or no? He's ready for his next number 3.
Dude,
he's ready for number 3.
Me?
He's in a cut right now.
Are you kidding me? The Office? Do you want me to go with my top 5 Office episodes? We can do a whole show on that one, all right? All right, dude. The one where they go to Chili's, all right? The one where he burns his foot on a Foreman grill. How about that one, all right? That's just 2 of them. Casino night, Yo, Benihana Christmas. Oh, my God.
My favorite one, real quick, my favorite episode is the joke he says. When Dwight says the knock-knock joke to Michael Scott or whatever. And he goes, knock, knock. And he goes, who's there? And he goes, the KGB. And he goes, the KGB. And then he smacks him in the face and goes, the KGB will wait for no one. Or something like that. Or no, he goes, we will ask the questions. That's what he said. That was hilarious. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, I got sidetracked. So, all right, let's move on to number 3 here. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, number 3, right? Is that where we're at?
Yeah, 3.
All right.
3.
What you got here, Joe? Because eventually we got to talk about some DFS.
Number 3 show of all time, about a man, a teacher, a chemistry teacher from New Mexico gets diagnosed with cancer and has to decide to sell meth. It's about a story of a man turned kingpin. Breaking Bad, number 3 show of all time.
Breaking Bad. I'm with it. I'm with the Breaking Bad. I did like that show. I watched the whole thing. Paul, any love there?
I haven't watched Breaking Bad yet, but I do know that I'm gonna like it a lot. Like I know a lot about it, and I just haven't dove into it. That's like a show that I'll marathon and finish in like 2 weeks' time.
Oh yeah,
like
for sure. For sure. That's definitely one of them binge watch shows. Yeah, absolutely. You'll finish that real quick. What's your number 3, Paulie?
Mine, it's a similar time period, similar channels, Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, yes, that's a great show. Yeah, I love that show. A little dark. It's a little dark.
Jax, Tara.
See, that show,
it did get dark.
If you binge watch that show, you may end up depressed at some point. Like you may walk away with like a depressed mind state because like it gets kind of dark at some points that you're just like, I love the show, but then like you're just looking around, all of a sudden you get this feeling that life sucks. It's like
Dude, Peggy Bundy as a biker chick. Like that was amazing.
That was cool. Yeah. That was definitely cool. All right, Joe, you ready for number 2? What you got here?
Yeah. Number 2. The only man that could kick Chuck Norris's ass, Jack Bauer, 24. I've never watched shows where literally my heart rate has skyrocketed and we're watching 24. The man, Jack Bauer, is the badass of all badasses, all right? Don't piss him off because he will torture you. You tell him the truth. 24, number 2.
The truth. Oh, God. Paulie, you agree? You got a different number 2.
I got a different number 2, but I did love that show. And that was my first binge watch show. And like literally every episode ended on such a cliffhanger. Like you had to watch the next one.
Seriously. Dude.
He was always running.
I watched the 4th season in one day. Me
too. I did the same thing. It's a good show, definitely. But I had to go with The Sopranos. You know, I'm from Jersey. The thing was the strip club that I frequented. You know, and in East Rutherford, and that love that show. Tony, all those guys.
I'm with you. That's it's one of my father's favorite show of all time.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you. Joe, number one. What's the top show for Patio Joe? Or is this Audie that we're talking to? That's the question. Number one. Oh, queued it up.
When you're Italian, when your fantasy league is named the Bada Bing, The Sopranos is your favorite show.
Paulie, you stole his number one.
Let me tell you, it's okay. No, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm happy. I'm happy about that.
It's like the price is right. You win the prize.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Let me tell you why The Sopranos is the best show ever. Is because there never would be shows like Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, where you're cheering for the bad guy. There was Tony Soprano. He was first, and that's why it's the best. It's the best written show I've ever seen. That I can't believe. The third season, I tweeted it out not too long ago. The third season is probably one of the greatest seasons in the history of television. Like, all the episodes of that season is just amazing. So, I mean, yeah, Sopranos is number one for me by far.
Oh yeah, no, I can't hate on that at all. All right, number one, Paulie, what you got here?
And I had a tough time picking between these two, but to me, The Wire just edged out The Sopranos by a
The
little.
Wire.
Best show of all time. Everybody knows it. Stringer Bell, Omar, McNulty.
Oh, wow.
Best show.
I've never seen The Wire.
You never seen The
I
Wire?
recommend you.
Nope, never seen The Wire.
It's a good one, man.
Nope.
You got to have some time.
I
But it's
want
a
to.
good one. It's definitely a good one. Interesting.
Yeah, I just started watching House of Cards.
Oh yeah, I love that show. Yeah, I like that. I like that on that. See, that's why I didn't play. Because if I played, dude, it's like Office would have been on my list, and then it would have been like where I see some in the chat. They got guys like what's it called, Workaholics and like The League. Like, I like to laugh, dude. Mine would have been all comedies. Don't get me wrong. I like Homeland and I like all those other shows. What's good? What's it called? Ray Donovan. That's a pretty good one.
Ray Donovan's very good.
Yeah, that's
very
a good one. Yeah.
I mean,
Modern Family.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
And it's another good one if especially, and this is the one if you want to score points with your wives or girlfriends, watch This Is Us.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody out there, watch This Is Us. You'll score points with the wife and girlfriend.
Yeah,
trust me.
It's because
it might make you cry, by the way, too, because there's some tear-jerking moments. Okay?
May or may
trust
not.
me.
But
Patio Joe is a sensitive person too. All right, just everybody realize that.
You don't look very sensitive right now, bro.
No, trust me, I'm sensitive. All right.
No, trust me.
So,
I'm sensitive.
All right, we should probably talk about some.
All right, game faces. Game faces. All right, guys. So it's been almost 20 minutes, and we've talked about TV shows, which is, listen. We got to let these guys vent, okay? There's a full week where Patio Joe has not had a platform to speak to anyone. We got to let him go a little bit. So he's got it out of system, and now he can give you some quality DFS advice.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, let's do this. First game of the night, we got Mike Leake of the St. Louis Cardinals visiting Garrett Cole of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yo, real quick before we dive into that, This slate, there's like a massive humidity front going across the whole country. Like almost like 10 games are affected. There's going to be a lot of rain. Make sure you get with your weather guy, Kevin Roth. I strongly recommend, and pay attention to humidity, rain. You don't want a pitcher in a game that could get a rain delay, and balls fly out in very humid stadiums. And we got a lot of it. And, it's going to be the key to the slate tomorrow, paying attention to that. Just want to drop that.
That's a great point, for sure. Great point. All right, Joe, you want to start us off here with this game here?
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the lefty bats of the Cardinals tomorrow at first glance. Garrett Cole gives up 2.25 home runs per 9 against lefties. So guys like Carpenter, Fowler, I like those. All the lefty bats, it's not bad. For the Pirates, they're pretty hot. McCutchen's one of the hottest hitters in baseball right now, so I don't mind playing him as a one-off. As the pitchers, I'm not really interested in any of the pitchers in this game.
Okay.
I hear you.
Paulio, what do you got here?
If it was not going to be crazy humid, would be interested in Garrett Cole here. He's, dominant against righties and struggles versus lefties. And, outside of Carpenter and Fowler, I don't know any other lefty that's guaranteed to be in this lineup. So, in this big ballpark, I would have some interest, but because of the humidity and there's just a ton of other better options on the slate, I am not interested in any of these pitchers either. I could definitely get behind like a Carpenter or a Fowler mini stack. Fowler in like a short sample size has stolen 4 bases off Garrett Cole on six times on base out of 12 at bats. So he's got a nice little BVP there. And, he's just coming back off the DL. He's rested after the All-Star break. I think that could be interesting. But overall, both these teams have low implied totals. This whole game's kind of a pass for me.
Yeah, man, I think I'm with you guys. I think I would have potentially some interest in Cole. It's just you don't know how much K upside you have against the Cardinals. That guy Voit they got, I know he's a righty, but he's been eating up a little bit. So I think I'm with you guys both. Like, yeah, Josh Bell is a great point. The chat's yelling off. Q was just talking about a Josh Bell one off. This kid Josh Bell could play. His numbers are drastic lefty righty, but what's that?
But at first base, there's just so many better options. It'd be really hard for me to land on Josh Bell.
Absolutely. Especially now that he's priced up at 3.4. I just realized on FanDuel he's priced up. So he's no longer cheap. So yeah, I think I'm with you. This whole game I'm with you guys. It's let's see. Mike Montgomery, the lefty from the Chicago Cubs, visiting Kevin the Gas Can Gausman of Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, Gausman's been sneaky good the last few days. Last week, I think it was either Saturday or Sunday, Paulie D had him and he was rolling right along until about the 5th inning, and then he hit a stump. And if I'm gonna look into it more on GPP wise, but the Cubs are somebody you can attack. Like, we need to stop thinking that this is the same Cubs team. So if you like Gausman and what he's been doing lately, I don't see why you can't take a flyer on him tomorrow. As for the other side, Montgomery's pitching okay, but the Orioles can hit some righties pretty well. Machado's 3,100. That's just criminal. I just made a trade in one of my seasonal leagues to get Machado. He's gonna blow up. I really believe that, and I hope that now. And Jonathan Scope is also a little expensive for my taste when it comes. There's some other better prices at second base, but he'll probably be in the write-up at 3,400. He hits lefties pretty well too. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at tomorrow. I'm not really looking at any Cubs bat unless maybe some good value opens up somewhere up in the order.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead, Paulie. What you got here, man?
Yeah, I don't think we can call Gausman gas can anymore. Even
as long as I'm not jinxing him, right?
Yeah, right. But you know what? Like, sometimes you can't be results based in DFS. Like, if you look, he had a 647 BABIP in that game. Like, they just BABIPed him to death. It was all like, soft contact, dribblers, errors. He didn't walk a guy. He had a bunch of strikeouts. His pitch count got up there. That's why, I think he fell apart a little, but there wasn't any home runs. There wasn't any mammoth shots. Actually, maybe Sano hit one solo shot there, but 643 BABIP, insanely bad luck. And if you look at Gausman's 3 previous starts to that, the Ks are there, the walks are low, and he was pitching well. So I would agree, except this game's got massive humidity, 72% dew points. Yeah, I will never take a pitcher with dew points over 70%. So, I like Gausman. I will be pitching him more down the road. I was very impressed. The guy was throwing 97 miles per hour in that game, but not in these weather conditions in this small park.
Yeah.
And Montgomery, I believe, is a lefty and can be interesting taking lefties with K upside against the Orioles. But Montgomery's only got a 19% K rate and an 11.8% walk rate, which is not a good mix. And I already told you this is a very good hitting environment. I like bats on Baltimore, and I like a couple spots on the Cubs. I'm actually a big fan of Chris Bryant in the second half. I think he's gonna take off. And Gausman's a reverse splits pitcher. He does better against lefties. And in this park, in those environments, I would not be surprised to see a double dong from Chris Bryant. That being said, that's probably the only bat I'm really interested in the Cubs. And on the Baltimore side, I've got a lot of interest. We've seen Mike Montgomery get beat up a little towards the end of the second half, and we saw this Baltimore team heat up. I could have Scope at second, Machado at third, Trumbo. There's a couple spots. Wellington Castillo crushes left-handed pitching. Adam Jones hit 2 bombs the last game before the All-Star break. Got to dive into the hitting profiles a little bit, but I'm definitely interested. Maybe even a KB and some Orioles in the same kind of like mini game stack. A lot of interest here in bats.
Yeah, who would have thought that we're halfway through the MLB season, or at least the second half of the MLB season, and like Manny Machado's 3-1 on FanDuel. You know what I'm saying? And like on the other side, Zobrist 2.6, Schwarber 2.3. Like, you know what I'm saying?
The whole slate is the softest pricing on FanDuel like ever. You can fit anybody you want, and I hope that they increase that soon because it's going to be very, very easy to put up good scores. I don't even know if I'd play cash tomorrow with the pricing because you can literally fit anybody you want. We'll get to a couple other extremely cheap, good batters in good spots. And, the price is just way too low. DeGrom's the only pitcher above 10K at 10.9. Carrasco, who's been crushing it, is 9.6. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we got Brandon McCarthy of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Joe's Los Angeles Dodgers, visiting Dan Straley of the Miami Marlins. Go ahead, Joe. What you got here?
Yeah, right now I don't have much of a read on this game. McCarthy is some guy that I went to his last start in LA and he was like done after like 5 innings. Like he just doesn't really go that far, that long in games anymore. And it's just not like he just doesn't have that K upside. He didn't strike out anybody. So he's going to a place in Miami, and obviously the roofs will be closed, I'm pretty sure. So, I don't really the Marlins bats. If you want to stack them, I just think there's other places to go. And on the other side, Straley hasn't been bad, so it make me want to just pause on maybe choosing the Dodgers. I don't think I'd pick Straley, but he's got a 3.31 ERA, so he's not too bad, and he's pretty consistent. So he usually gets 8-6. He usually goes about 6 innings. So. As pitching wise, I wouldn't attack him, but I'm also might not really love the Dodgers either tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Paulie, what about you? What you got here?
Yeah, I can second that. Like, I'm probably not going to pitch Straley, but I don't want to pick on him. Big ballpark. It's one of the few that doesn't have any weather impacting it. The Dodgers can hit well and they can K, but no matchups like really jumping off the page at me. So I'm not going to have Straley, but, I'm not going to pick on him as well. On the flip side, same thing. McCarthy doesn't interest me. There's a ton of better options. And on the Marlins bats, I'm comfortable with like a mini stack of D. Gordon, Mike Stanton, who's just been on fire, and he's hit a home run the last 6 Fridays, and tomorrow's Friday. So I'm going to have a little bit of him. And Christian Yelich, like something like that, like a bottom of the order. D. Gordon steal 2 bases, score on a Stanton home run. Stanton double donked twice the last week before the All-Star break. When that guy gets hot, you got to kind of ride him. So I'll have a little bit of Stanton exposure.
Yeah, no, I think it definitely makes sense. I'm having a hard time on such a large slate for tournaments. I'm having a hard time seeing the upside for either of these teams. On the Miami bats, it's not that they're not playing well. Obviously, Paulie, you mentioned Stanton. He finished off the first half strong, and I don't hate it. Stanton's always a guy that's under-owned. The issue here is like McCarthy's decent. Say okay, they get to McCarthy a little bit, then you get this bullpen that comes in. So I get a little worried with upside, overall team upside. And on the other side, Straley's not been bad enough that you want to really like, right? Like he's not been bad enough that you can really bank on. I mean, if they can get him out of there, that bullpen is terrible in Miami.
Yeah, like I think the only thing for me would be like the D Gordon Stanton top of the order stack. D Gordon versus old team, right-handed pitcher. Maybe we get lucky and you would get like Barnes behind the plate or something, and he can steal bases. And then Stanton, knocks a home run in his first at bat, and then you're live for 3 more at bats. Hopefully he doubles.
Right.
But other than that, I agree. There's not much
I
upside.
gotcha. All right, we got John Gray of the Colorado Rockies visiting Jacob deGrom of my New York Mets. Go ahead, Joe.
All right, so DeGrom is one of the two people you're probably going to be looking at tomorrow in cash. He's 10-9. I don't mind him. He's at home. He's playing the Rockies, who play better on the road. But for some odd reason, I'm just never somebody that really ever rosters DeGrom too much. I don't know why. He's had some really good stretches too in the season, 52, 52, 52, 64. I mean, it was really good. And then 0, and then his last start against St. Louis in St. Louis, he got 30 FanDuel points. But I think he just gave up a couple runs at the end of that game to get a quality start taken away from him too, if I remember.
He gave up 4 solo home runs. I think 2 back-to-backers, like middle of the game. Most he's given up all year, but it was like a 95-degree day and the wind blowing out in St. Louis.
So I like that. I don't know if I'm going to be going with him in cash. I think I might go somewhere else. And as for John Gray at 6'6", I absolutely love it. I mean, I know the Mets hit a lefty, but I don't know. The guy, he has good strikeout potential at 6'6". I mean, he's really cheap. To me, I feel like he's got that upside down there. If you want to go dumpster diving, I mean, he is the same price as Martin Perez as James Shields. I mean, John Gray is a way better pitcher than that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous
so take
pricing.
Advantage of that. Like, Jesus Lordy. I mean, he pitches good in Coors. So the Mets are not that good of a team. Like,
they're not playing well.
He put up 52 points in Arizona. I mean, I'm telling you.
The only thing is there's a lot of forecasted rain, so it might be tough to take a pitcher from this game.
Right. There was a lot of storms today.
It's a little too. Yeah, it's a little too far out to like say that, but from the percentage of precipitation I'm looking at now, usually this is a bad sign for pitchers. But otherwise,
I think about it, but even if like something like that, though, you might as well roll it out. Like if you're gonna roll out a pitcher that might have a chance of a delay, 6'6", you might have a chance. I mean, hell, what happened? That one guy won a tournament this year with a 0, right?
Yeah, I think for Gray it makes sense if you're gonna because you're taking a chance anyway, right? Because we mentioned the Mets are not that great right now, but they do hit righties, so they have a lot of lefty power. So it's like it could blow up in your face anyway. So if you're considering Gray, why not play him in a little bit of rain? Like I mean, we're not talking cash. Like DeGrom, I think Paulie's. I'm with Paulie. I'm looking at cash games in DeGrom. That rain scares me. You know what I'm saying? Because like I'm not trying to take a big chance there. It's a cash game. But for tournaments, it's like, why not? Gray 6'6". Maybe people will back off of him. My only issue here is the Mets haven't been striking out all that much this year against righties. That's my only concern. But John Gray's got some nasty stuff, and he throws pretty hard. So those kind of guys can strike out anybody on any given night. So I definitely
like if there was no weather,
right?
John Gray would probably be like one of the higher owned.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would recommend him for cash.
Right.
But with the weather, I fine. Like a cheap tournament, you want to take a flyer on one of these guys, and like Roth says, the rain's probably only going to affect early, and then it's gone, or it might only come late. Then okay, because he can strike out 10 guys, either one of these guys. But Gray at 6'6" won't hurt you as much if you do get stuck in like a rain delay and he gets pulled.
Right. Exactly. I'm 100% with you guys on that one. All right, we got Gio Gonzalez of the Washington Nationals visiting Tim Adelman of the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh, yes. Let's get some Nationals in your lineup. Oh, they're playing in a good park. I think the weather, the weather's probably shitty. It's in Cincy, but
no, it's actually surprisingly it's one of the only places that's not bad.
Yes. Okay, here's another thing. Okay, so everybody's gonna sleep on Gio too, because he's 9,000, but the guy is like Mr. Consistency. Like I know he's boring. He is like vanilla.
He's boring. Yeah,
like,
I know he's boring.
You know what? You know what he is? He is like vanilla, like lactate vanilla. Like, you know, like some of that vanilla that doesn't even have like lactose.
Like almond milk.
Soy, like almond milk vanilla. You know what I mean? Like really boring, bland vanilla. Like it soothes you. Like it kind of like it scratches that itch. Like if you need it, but like it doesn't taste that good. That's what Gio Gonzalez is. He doesn't taste good.
No.
But he always does it. I mean, the thing is that he's 9,000 though. And tomorrow, like, I like Carrasco better at 9,500, and we could even talk about Cueto tomorrow at 9,000 at the same price. So, you know, that's why I just don't think I like him, and the park doesn't work against him either. So I like the Nationals bats. If you like them, get them in there, because I think they can hit Adelman pretty good. Okay. And then on the other side, if you want to go one-offs with the Reds, they always have some decent guys for salary relief at times.
Okay. What you got here, Paulie?
You're right. This is like one of the games not affected by rain, but there is a decently high humidity as well, and an 11 to 12 mile per hour wind blowing out in Cincinnati in 80-degree weather. You know, I would not take any of these pitchers. I don't pitch Gio that often anyway. And Adelman's got some stuff. He can, you know, he's pretty dominant against righties. His last like 4 starts, lefties can still hit him. But, you know, not in this park. None of the pitchers. I'm not really in love with the Nationals bats. We kind of saw them get really cold at the end of the break there. I think the Braves swept them, and like some of their, you know, weaker pitchers really shut them down. And, you know, until Trey Turner comes back, I think they're just missing like a key weapon. And Bryce Harper hasn't, you know, like gone off and been the MVP that we've seen him be just yet. So, you know, I'm not really on the Nationals all that much. If anything, maybe like a Murphy one-off, or like, you know, Harpy Murphy mini stack. But I like other spots. I love this ballpark, so I totally understand those two.
Yeah, man.
And I have a little bit of interest in some Reds bats. You know, like I would be fine with Duvall against the lefty with the wind blowing out. I really like that. And we saw Cozart come back right at the end of the break, and he was crushing before he got hurt. And he mashes lefties, so I like him. And Joey Votto's got great BVP against Gio, so I'm cool with like a mini, not even a mini, like a full Hamilton, Cozart, Votto, Duvall stack, or skip Hamilton, Cozart, Votto, Duvall, and grab Suarez, who hits lefties well. I think they'll be very low owned, and it's a spot I'm interested in. Not my favorite, but, you know, if I was making 10 teams, one of them would definitely have Cincinnati.
Yeah, man, I like Cincinnati a lot. You mentioned the ballpark already, both of you. Gio's a guy that I do play from time to time, but I only play him at home. Number one, he pitches in a bigger ballpark, so I want that.
Yeah.
And number two, his numbers indicate that he's more comfortable at home. He seems to pitch better at home. So Gio on the road in this ballpark, no thank you, not for me. I agree, Gio's consistent. I agree, like, you know, but
he's prone to the blow up.
Yes.
He can get crushed, Gio.
And then what's behind him? It's like so as far as upside, the Reds have a ton of upside here.
The pen.
What's behind him? A terrible bullpen that they were unable to fix. So I think the Nationals, I think it makes sense. And like in cash games, I trust them against Adelman more. But for tournaments, especially, I love the Reds in the spot. And it's early, you know, I could change my mind tomorrow. I have to dig in. This is all obviously first look. I don't have any stats in front of me, but first look, I think that Joe hit it on the head with the pricing for Gio. And yeah, I think the Reds are definitely interesting. And I see Fuego's out there saying, "And no way I play him at 9K." Yeah, Fuego agrees with us.
Way better option.
Yeah, agreed. Let's see.
Wait, hold on, guys. But sure, everybody in the chat, make sure you say hi to Mr. Fuego Steve Hilliman, one of the top-rated players on Roto Grinders.
There he is.
He is so on fire. I mean, he showed me this thing this month. He's above Mr. Sahil Sud. I mean, he is that hot right now. So if you have any MME questions, hit up Fuego right now. Say hi, Fuego.
Right now. Bug him. Just go crazy on him.
Say his name.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Anyways,
All
let's
right.
keep
There
going.
we go. Aaron Sanchez of the Toronto Blue Jays visiting Justin Verlander of the Detroit Tigers.
All right, so we're not supposed to show like recency bias or anything, but Aaron Sanchez got his tits lit last week against the Astros. Did. I mean, he came out there. We were wondering like, oh, what is he gonna do? This is Aaron Sanchez. He's coming back. He's gonna be okay. We don't want to play him against the Astros. No. The Astros literally they went up to him and they said, hey, we're gonna go and take your wife out for dinner, and you're not gonna be able to do anything about it. And that's what happened. And so they just crushed him, and he was out by 3 or 4 innings. And if you didn't have the Astros that day, you were terrible. So today or tomorrow, he gets the Tigers. So think about this. I like the Tigers. They always have an offense that can put up points beyond points beyond points. And the Blue Jays bullpen isn't great or anything great, So they've just got destroyed 3 days in a row against the Astros. So I like the Tigers tomorrow. And on the other side, Verlander is just another one of those guys. I don't want to target the Blue Jays, but I'm not going to also pick the pitcher against the Blue Jays either, because I like their hitters also, Smoke and Morales, and they could put up some damage. So Donaldson, yeah. So I like the Tigers bats of anything tomorrow of this game. What do you got?
You got here, Paulie.
I have a prediction on Verlander that he, turns it around and pitches really well in the second half. He may even get traded to a team in the running. So I don't really want to pick on him either, especially on this slate. But Donaldson and Smoke profile extremely well. Any of the, subscribers know that I was on Donaldson towards the very end of the first half, and he came through for us. And, I believe he's one of the best hitters in baseball, and he was really struggling at the beginning of the year. And I think he broke out. And Donaldson crushes curveballs, and that's what Verlander throws the second most. So there's a chance Donaldson just keeps it up and takes him yard. And Justin Smoke's in a great spot as well. But otherwise, no other interest in any of the Blue Jays. And that might be a little bit of Paulie D recency bias since I won a bunch with those two guys at the end. But they are in good spots. But there might be better options on this slate. I don't know if, picking on Verlander is the greatest of ideas. And on the other side, I'm not going to pitch Aaron Sanchez or Verlander, but I'm not going to pick on Aaron Sanchez. This guy gets massive ground balls. This is a huge ballpark. He does very, very well versus righties, doesn't give up, hard contact. You really would want to target him with lefties, and Alex Avila is the only interesting lefty in this lineup. So it's a pass for me. I expect this to be a lower scoring game. It's a 9 total, which is not the lowest, but it's not the highest. It's a big ballpark. And, I think it's going to be a pitcher's duel. Aaron Sanchez is good. I was not totally surprised he got rocked his first game back, but now he's had time off. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll regain his form and keep the ball on the ground. This game is mostly a pass.
Yeah, I hear you for sure. All right, do you guys have the Yankees pitcher? Because I don't see one listed.
No.
I think it's going to be Pineda.
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
Either him or Severino, probably Pineda. But okay, so we'll just assume it's Pineda. If it is Pineda, you got Pineda of Paulie's New York Yankees visiting Drew Pomeranz, the lefty from the Boston Red Sox. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, if it's Pineda, I might have some interest. Red Sox are just not that good. Right now, I don't think there's even a pitcher for the Yankees. Yeah, FanDuel doesn't even have a pitcher for the Yankees. So, let's see. I'm trying to think of what RotoGrinders has.
They got Pineda. It's probably going to be Pineda. Severino, I think, was in the All-Star game, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. Did he get an inning? Mm-hmm. Could be wrong, but regardless, I think he threw the last game before the break, and
yeah.
It's most likely going to be Pineda. If not Pineda, it would probably be Montgomery.
Mm-hmm. Well, they sent Montgomery down to get a start, though, so it's not.
Yeah, that was housekeeping. He's coming back up the next.
Yeah, he probably had a start though, Tuesday or Wednesday, and down in the minors.
So you're saying he probably won't pitch for another couple days, probably.
No, No.
Yeah, he might pitch like Sunday or Monday. Right. I think it's going to be Pineda.
Yeah.
So it's Yankees, Red Sox. You can always stack the Yankees righties against Pomeranz. Judge is Judge, man. The guy is insane right now. So I'm not huge into it. I probably will cross this game off until I get a better read of who's pitching and stuff. But yeah, I'm not really. There's just other games I'm looking towards tomorrow.
Okay. Paulie, what you got here, man?
Do you think these teams will be like popular though, Joe? Like,
yes,
judges
because
from
it's
the home
Yankees
run
and Red Sox. Yeah,
yeah.
It's the Yankees and Red Sox. It's
in Fenway.
It's the rivalry in Fenway. I mean, Judge is 4,800. He's more expensive than Trout and Harper and Springer
but it's still cheap. 4,800. You can fit him really easily.
Oh yeah, especially with the pitching prices today.
Of course.
Yeah. So for me, I'm not that interested either. I think they're going to be higher owned than what their upside is. The only guy we can't ignore is Clint Frazier. That guy was just on fire those last few games when he got called up. And, I think he's going to remain in that same spot of the lineup. And, the way the Yanks lineup is built right now, you got Gardner, Judge, and then Sanchez. And they've been working walks, so like the 4, 5, 6 guys are in great RBI spots. We saw that guy Frazier, hit a walk-off home run with 2 guys on. He had 3 RBIs the game before that. He's cheap. I don't know if his price went up, but he was like 2,400 at the peak last week. That's a great value bat, and he's got like 3 games in double-digit scoring. I think he's a guy you can consider as a one-off or part of Yankee stacks, which I really won't have. Pomeranz has pitched well, and I don't see the Yankees going off in this spot. On the flip, if Pineda's pitching, I think Boston could get to him. Pineda, when he gets hit, it's home runs. This is a small park. And, Boston is going to break out. Like, they're a very good team. Betts, Bogarts, Hanley Ramirez, Benintendi. Like, I definitely won't be pitching Pineda, and I'm going to have some Boston ownership, especially Benintendi. I'm very interested in him, maybe even as a one-off. But I like Betts too, and Betts' price is crazy low. So, depending on the ownership, if we think this game is going to be very popular, I'd stay away. But if it's not, then I do have interest in that Boston side.
I don't know how popular the Red Sox will be either way, just because I don't think people want to pick on Pineda. But I feel like even though the Yankees are only projected for 4.3 runs, and even though people like Pomeranz, I still think Judge, because Sanchez is only 3.2, Holiday's questionable, Castro might be back. If those guys are in full force, then I think the Yankees might be popular, even though, a 4.3 run projection isn't usually like a chalky projection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm wondering, though. It's a good point. We have to keep an eye out for tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of rain projected here, too. So,
yeah, keep that in mind, too. All right, we got Taijuan Walker of the Arizona Diamondbacks visiting R.A. Dickey of the Atlanta Braves. What you got here, Joe?
Freddie Freeman.
One, Joe.
Freddie
Joe.
Freeman.
Joe.
Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman.
Freddie anyone.
Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman. 3,600. He's going to be my play of the day. I think I've already written him in the article. It's like his first game back. I think he played 2 games at home against the Astros, and then he went on the road and he just destroyed. Now he's back home at the park made for him. We'll just call it Freeman Park. And he's facing a righty who likes to give up home runs to lefties. So A plus B equals C. Freddie Freeman is the play of the day. Go to you, Mr. Paulie.
Nice and to the point.
That's essentially what I was gonna say. I'll go one more and say I love the whole Atlanta team. This is my favorite spot of the day right now. We got 72% dew points, 80%, 76% humidity. We got a 7 to 8 mile per hour wind blowing out, 85 degrees. This is optimal hitting environment. And Taijuan Walker walks guys, and then he gives up home runs. And the Braves were on fire at the end of that half. And I think this is an inspired young team that's going to try and make a run for the wild card. And, Freddie Freeman just makes this whole thing come together. Matt Adams was an incredible pickup. He's just remained hot. He's going to hit a home run tomorrow as well. And Enciarte, Markakis, Kemp. This is an awesome spot. Taijuan Walker's going to get bombed here. And on the other side, I'm shocked at how well the knuckleballer has been pitching lately. Have you guys seen his,
I was just going to say.
You don't want to take a knuckleballer, though, in humidity. So he's a pass. And I could have some interest in this park in Arizona. I think this is a good game stack. Guys like, obviously, Goldschmidt, but Pollock's back, and I expect him to get going. He can steal bases. David Peralta was hot. Jake Lamb hit like 2 home runs on Saturday. That was all he had done in a while, but that's a good spot. And if Herman is in the top of the order at catcher, he's 2,300. I like bats in this game, based on the weather and the stadium and these two pitchers not being that good. And, knuckleballers in humidity, they don't get the same break, so I think he's going to get roughed up.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm with you guys, for sure.
It's weird. It's weird for me. Like, every time I've tried to attack Dickey lately,
No, he's been pitching great. Like, his knuckleball was crazy lately. But it's not going to do that tomorrow. I guarantee you.
Yeah, I try. I mean, I've looked at his game logs, and it's been really good. I mean, 5 out of his last 6 games have been QSs, so I like that. But it just seems like, and then he went through a patch where he just was getting crushed, and it's weird. I don't know. I think everybody has certain players that they just can't pick right, whether if it's attacking or picking them to hit.
Yeah.
And Ari Dickey, it just seems like even in cash, you're like, well, this is a good play in cash, and he still just doesn't produce. So, anyways, let's go on to the next game.
All right, we got James Paxton, the lefty from the Seattle Mariners, visiting big game James Shields of the Chicago White Sox. I know the chat has been waiting for this one. So go ahead, Joe. Start us off.
Oh, boy. Ooh. Well, if you like Freddie Freeman at third, you are going to love my man. How do you do, Robinson Cano? What do you know, Robinson Cano at 3,200?
How do you do, Robinson Cano?
Cano. BVP Play of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, he is. It's 3,200 also. I mean, it's just the way to go. And then I listen. I'm going to be paying up tomorrow at third base, but Kyle Seager is 2,500 also. So if you're going to do a stack of the Mariners, you want to stack, Seager, you want to stack Cruz, Cano, Gamble. I mean, if you could fit in, DK throwing a 5th guy, I love it. And on the other side, the White Sox have, the numbers say that they're hitting lefties, so that keeps me off of Paxton personally. I know though some people would be like, you attack the White Sox right now with lefties. If Avisail Garcia's in there with Abreu and Cabrera and Davidson, I might not pick any White Sox tomorrow because I like Paxton. I have respect for him, but I'm not going to pick Paxton either. But Mariners.
Nicely put. Paulie, what you got here?
I love that Mariners spot too. They were like the first thing I saw when doing my research today, but I think it's just going to be way too popular, Anyone that's going Carrasco or DeGrom will have a piece of this stack. And, I don't know. Maybe it's chalk that you just need. So Shields has a 2.7 swinging strike rate to left-handed batters. 2.7. So nobody's swinging and missing against this guy, right. So that's not good. And, he's given up a 17.5 home run to fly ball rate, 34% hard contact. This is, the lefties are in an optimal spot here. But, I think ownership is going to be very heavy here. And me personally, I'm going to be fading this one very nervously. But, he actually didn't do terrible, James Shields, right before the break. Like, we were stacking against him, and it never really paid off. So, I just think it's going to get way too much ownership. Actually, my favorite guy is Nelson Cruz one-off. That guy was smoking hot. and we see Shields give up power to righties, and I think he will be like the guy that does the damage if Seattle does. So I'm cool with that. But Cano and Seager are just going to be way too popular. If I was going to play Seattle, I'd grab guys at the bottom of that order. Left-handers, like a Fuego special, Jared Dyson, and if Gamble's batting towards the bottom, but Cano and Seager they're too popular, and I like guys at those positions better. Like Joe, if you're making one lineup on FanDuel tomorrow, who's your third baseman, Seager or Freddie Freeman?
Freeman.
Yeah, so I just think there's way better options at third.
Yeah, that's the first. But I said if you're gonna stack the Mariners, that's when I like him. That's my point. And I don't like him as a one-off because there's there's so many others, and I just personally think by September, James Shields is going to be driving down the 5 freeway to the 118, going to Simi Valley and hanging out with his bra, Jared Weaver, and because they're both going to be out of baseball smoking weed. Okay, that's what they're going to be doing. All right, trust me, Simi Valley and Santa Clarita are like 40 minutes apart. They're gonna be like, "Hey, what's up, Jay? Hey, what's up, bro? Let's go, let's go. Hey, you want to come over? Yeah, bro." Dude, man, I got a new car, bro. Come down. Yeah, okay, bro. Let's go smoke some weed, bro. Yeah, let's watch some baseball. Yeah, cool, bro. That's what they're going to be doing by September. All right?
You're definitely right about that. But in tournaments, you just got to, responsibly fade this spot. And on the other side, dude, James Paxton is elite, in my opinion. The guy throws 97 on his fastball, and then he hits you with a knuckle curve that's just been untouchable at 79. And, I know that the White Sox hit left-handers, but this is an elite left-hander. I think he's top 5 pitcher in the American League. And those White Sox guys that, have the good numbers against lefties, also all of them have over 25% strikeout rates with the exception of Abreu. And I think Paxton just destroys this team. I think he's going to have 12 strikeouts. And at low ownership, I love him tomorrow. Paxton's one of my favorites.
You said low ownership. That's what's gonna.
Yeah, people don't want to take a lefty against the White Sox. People just don't want to do that.
Yeah, and for 400 more, you can get Carrasco on the road against Oakland, which we'll get to. So no one's going there.
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree with you guys. All right, we got Jose Barrios of the Minnesota Twins visiting Charlie Morton of the Houston Astros.
Yeah, I am not targeting pitchers right now with the Astros. I'm leaving them alone, and I might pick them. They won me a lot of money on Sunday. Thank you, Carlos Correa and Mr. Gurriel.
Yeah, Paulie called that one in the chat, man. He was all over that.
That's right. The Astros right now, they are the second best team in baseball. So I don't want to attack them right now. They're hitting the ball all over the place. I like what Hughes is saying about some Charlie Morton. The guy's the thing is he's vanilla too. He's not. The thing about him is that his velocity has been up all year, and that's what's made him more successful. He's 7,700. He is a pretty high favorite, if I'm not mistaken. And, he's probably good to get you a quality start and hopefully a win. So if you want to go there, it's okay. Personally, if I'm going to go 7,700, I might even just go further down and just go get Gray or maybe even another pitcher that we might talk about a little bit later. So it's not enough flash for me with Morton. And if you want to attack Barrios, I think you can. He has shown that he has some blow up potential. So, these Astros are hot. So keep it up. Keep going after him. That's what I say.
Yeah. Paulie, what you got here?
Yeah. Pretty much agree with all that. A little more interest in Morton, especially on DraftKings. I think I'll be pairing him with a couple other cheaper pitchers and loading up on bats on DraftKings tomorrow. And the guy was striking guys out, so if we get a favorable umpire here, this is a dome game, so it's not one where we got to, worry about that humidity. And, the Twins strike out. So if we get a favorable umpire, I might be, more interested in the spot. And he definitely will be on some of my DK rosters. FanDuel's a little tougher, only got one pitcher and landing on him with a couple better options. But he'll definitely be low owned. He'll definitely get a bunch of strikeouts for you. I got to look and see how many pitches he's thrown. I think this is only his third start since coming back, so they may have a tighter leash on him. Bullpen's rested after the All-Star break. I like Morton. No interest in the Twins bats, and absolutely no interest in Barrios tomorrow. I think, you just, like you said, you got to be crazy to pick on the Astros. And, even if Barrios pitches well, the Astros don't strike out. So, there's no upside, And, I don't know if I'll, stack the Astros tomorrow, but you could one-off just about anyone in this lineup just to get a little piece of this in case they're still the hottest team in baseball like they were right before the break. I mean, we saw 2 games where they went over, 18 runs and a lot of home runs. George Springer's probably the hottest hitter in baseball. We saw Altuve really break out. I mean, this whole team, I would see who hits the curveball best and maybe grab a one-off against Barrios and that weak Twins bullpen.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. All right, we got Nick Pivetta of the Philadelphia Phillies visiting Zach Davies of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, this was the other pitcher I was sort of wanting to maybe get into a little bit more tomorrow. Pivetta is going up against a team that strikes out a lot, and that's the only reason why I really look at him as somebody that's tempting to me. The problem is that his strikeout percentage isn't that high, but I like him a little bit tomorrow. He's 7,300, so he's cheaper than who we just talked about. That was 7,700, Morton. So I kind of like him on a more of a GBP scale. I don't think anybody will have him too. But on the other side, though, I can also see you stacking against Pivetta too, because his last couple starts have not been very good, if I remember correctly.
He got shelled once out of his last 4, but the others were very good.
Yeah. He actually, his last 2 starts, it was at Arizona. He just got lit up. But ever since then, though, he's been really good.
What are the strikeout totals?
9, 4, 3. That's when he got blown up, and then 10 and 9. So aside from the Mets, he struck out 9 against the Padres, which they strike out a lot. So obviously teams that strike out a lot. He struck out 4 against the Mets, so they hit lefties well, or they hit righties well. 3 against the D-backs, 10 against the Cardinals, and 9 against the Red Sox.
Wow. He struck out 9 Red Sox. That's impressive.
Yeah, so they're facing a team that strikes out a lot. So I think that, you have some really, really good opportunities if you want to get a full Astro stack tomorrow. Throw Pivetta in there. Or, you could pick any players, any stack you want, put 2 of them of the top ones together. And then you'll be like, oh, I have 7,300 left. Pivetta. Oh, I only have 6,600 left. I'll throw in Gray. And you'll feel, I don't know. I mean, most days you look down and you're like, there's no way I'm picking any of these players. And now there's at least 2, 3, and let's not even talk about Zach Davies, who could shut down this Philly offense. I mean, he's not sexy or anything. He doesn't have much strikeout upside, but I mean, he's not gonna get shelled either. So there's a lot of good value down there for the bottom pitchers. Hitters wise, the Brewers, if Aguilar's playing, he crushes it. And if my man, the Friday man, Mr. Vogt, if he's in the lineup, I like him, man. I put him in the lineup. I put him in the lineup twice, and he's homered both times. I put him in the lineup. So if he's in the lineup tomorrow, I might like him for my cash game catcher.
Okay.
He's like 2,400.
Oh yeah. What do you got here, Paulie?
I really like Nick Pivetta going forward. I think he's got talent. He's got 25% K rate. 24.5 is like the 5th highest on the slate. But and I was actually really considering him before the lines came out. But Milwaukee's got a 5.3 implied total. and that just tells me that they're going to remain hot. And we saw them, beat up on the Yankees, bunch of home runs. They're getting healthy. Braun's back. I like the trade for Vogt. It adds some power towards the bottom of this lineup. VR is back and healthy, and he could do a multitude of things between power, stealing, getting on base. James, when he's hot, he can double dong in any game. And Travis Shaw, like, what a pickup for the Brewers. I'm sure the Red Sox would love to have that dude back. He's crushing it, batting cleanup in this lineup. And, I just can't go Pivetta. I think there's too much risk. And, I think there's just better spots on the rest of the slate. That being said, like, don't love the Brewers, but I could see them growing on me, before the end of before the lock tomorrow. That I like Ryan Braun, I like Tames, I like VR, so maybe this is something I should consider a little bit more. I just wasn't, I was a little bit more on Pivetta before this because of the strikeout upside and the righties. But you got VR, Tames, Shaw, and Vogt. 4 out of the top 6 that'll be batting lefty most likely, and that's dangerous for Pivetta because he's been getting beat up by them. And Davies, there's no way I'd pitch him. You're lucky if he'll get you 3 or 4 strikeouts and go more than 6, and you're gonna need bigger scores on this slate. And that being said, like the only Philly bats I would have interest in is Freddie Galvis and Nick Williams, most likely if he's batting third. They're both like Galvis is like 2,500 and Nick Williams is 2,100, and he's like a talented prospect. That's why they got him batting third. There's a good park for lefties, and I don't have much confidence in Davies. So if like you need a little value, that's like a nice mini stack. Galvis, Williams, 2-3. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, no interest in the pitchers and growing interest in a Brewer stack.
Yeah, I think it's definitely interesting for sure. All right, we got Martin Perez, the lefty from the Texas Rangers, visiting Jason Hamill of the Kansas City Royals.
All right, so you want a second pitcher on DK. Jason Hamill is 5,300 tomorrow, playing in a pitcher's park against the Rangers. Rangers would have won me a ton of money on Sunday if they would have hit. He scored 1 run. They get like 2 hits off of J.C. Ramirez. Are you kidding me? Anyways, so yeah, I don't know. I kind of like Hamill on DK as an SP2 just because of the price. I mean, am I crazy? Am I
yes.
I'm that crazy as an SP2.
Yes, you are crazy.
Am I that crazy? I mean, he's
yes.
I don't know. Like I'm telling you, I just what's 10 points? You don't think you can get 10 points on DK? Like
10 points is not enough on this slate, dude.
Well, as an SP2 though, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, he's really cheap. That's all I mean. And I wouldn't be considering him because and
he has pitched well. He has pitched really well, but like Texas has way too many good lefties, and they were on fire too. Mm-hmm. I'm not taking this. I think that's way too risky and not enough upside.
Well, I mean, like I said, he's 5,300, so he's really cheap. But on the other side, Martin Perez, he's one of those guys I just, God, I wish he just could keep getting crushed, and he just absolutely somehow still keeps getting people out. I think every time he gets somebody out, Angel gets its wings. It's that amazing. So, I mean, it's just he's doing okay. He'll come out there and he'll just confuse you enough. He doesn't give up like the big innings. It doesn't seem like he gets shelled, and like so. That's my problem. And the Royals they're hot, but they're not that hot. I guess if you wanted one off in like Kane or something, he's really hot right now. But I'm not really looking into this game much at all.
Okay, Paulie, what you got here, man?
I agree. I'm not really too interested in much in this game. I do have to say though, I should have mentioned this before with the Brewers. Like, I can't believe that team's in first place, and I think they're going to keep it up. I think the Cubs are messed up. I don't think the Cardinals got the pitching. So I think that team is going to catch momentum. If you remember 8 years back, they had a year similar to this, and they traded for CC Sabathia when Sabathia was a beast, and they just rode him into the playoffs. And I think you're going to see them make a move here and be a dominant team in the Central. leading into the Royals, who are sneakily in second place in the Central and American League, and not too far behind the Twins, right? Who are in first, or is it Cleveland? There's a like a logjam right there in the AL Central with the Royals, the Twins, and the Indians. And I think the Indians are by far the superior team, but both the Twins and the Royals have a shot at the wild card, and I think they're going to play inspired ball in the second half. So not this late, but definitely others. Like the Royals are a team we just overlook and move past. But like Moustakas has 25 home runs. Lorenzo Cain's got 15 and 15. Salvador Perez is one of the best hitting catchers in the game. It's a team we got to take notice to in the second half, but not tomorrow. Martin Perez gets a lot of ground balls, big ballpark, better spots on the slate. I think overall it's a pass. And even though I said don't take Hamill, I'm not like thrilled with any of the Rangers spots. If I did go there, it would be like Odor and Beltre and hope for some homers. But I just think there's better spots on the slate.
Yeah, for sure. I think so. 87 degrees, 62% humidity, so it's another one of those hot, humid environments. But it's still a pitcher's park. So if you have other, hitters' parks in better situations, then why wouldn't you want to go there? So I think I'm with you guys.
And ground ball pitcher. So
correct.
It's like bad formula.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, here we go. Carlos Carrasco of the Cleveland Indians visiting Sonny Gray of the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah, well, right now this is probably my cash game pitcher tomorrow, at least going into tomorrow. I'm thinking if you look at the K percentage for the A's is 25%, and his K percentage is 27.5. Carrasco is a minus 142 favorite. He's under 10,000. You can get any bat you want. X plus Y plus, equals Z, I think, to me. Like, I don't know. I like this. And he's going to be my cash game pitcher on the other side. I would like Sonny Gray, but the Indians don't strike out that much. I think that he's going to be pitching very, very inspired lately because, just like you said, I think that team in Milwaukee is going to be trading for Sonny Gray in the next few days because of what the Cubs did today. So you never know what might happen right before the game, too. It's that close to the trading deadline to where he could get pulled right before the game.
That's actually a great point. That's a great point. Be careful of that. If a guy gets traded and he's in your lineup, you're getting a zero. And it happens right around this time of year. You almost like a guy like Sonny Gray, this is not a great spot anyway. Like, there's no reason you should be pitching him when he could get traded, and he's one of the top likely guys to be traded.
Mm-hmm. And Carrasco, another thing about Carrasco is that he is just great on the road, too. He's had like one bad road start all year, and he's just been clutch. So I feel pretty safe rolling him out in cash tomorrow, even though he's on the road. He's in a good ballpark. The weather's not an issue. So I think it's let's roll with Carrasco.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
You know me, man. Carrasco on the road is a thing. But, for me, it's an ownership thing. I don't know. I don't know. Are people gonna? I feel like people would rather play Carrasco against the A's than maybe DeGrom against the Rockies because the Rockies have been so good. But the Rockies have been really bad lately, so maybe not.
And the weather.
So yeah, well, the weather alone, you would think they're gonna push people onto Carrasco, right? Like the last time this guy went overlooked, he dominated. Like I was saying, like the same thing. He was home, and I was like, well, Carrasco on the road is better, and then he went out and had a phenomenal game. So it's like, yeah.
Who was that against?
Detroit, I think.
Who was that against?
Right, the Tigers, right?
I think it was Oakland.
Was it Oakland?
I think it was the same team he faced 2 starts ago.
Oh,
I think he had a great one against Detroit also.
Didn't he started against Oakland early in the year. No. It was Carrasco started 2 starts ago was against Detroit.
He was at home.
His last 2 starts were against Detroit. He had 1 at home and 1 on the road. He had 58 at home and 49 on the road.
Okay, so.
And then he got lit up at home against Texas.
There it is. On the road, that's a thing.
On the road, so. I
hear you though, CK. Like, with the pricing, you can get Carrasco with any stacks you want. I'm nervous about the ownership, especially, if guys are on DeGrom and that games get that weather fear, they're all going to pivot to Carrasco.
Yeah, and then I want to run to DeGrom.
That's why Paxton.
That's true. That's true.
Paxton, nobody's going to be on him for that reason, and the fact that everybody thinks that the White Sox hit lefties well, and they have.
And they do. They do.
I'm telling you though, I bet you I'm gonna look at right there on their team stats the last 30 days batting against lefties. I don't think it's as good as everybody thinks it's been.
You're gonna see they have the number one WOBA.
No, I'm saying the last 30 days, maybe not. That's what I'm going with. I'm not the season they do. I agree.
Paxton's my favorite pitcher on the slate. You know, like it's not any ordinary lefty. He's elite. He's gonna dominate.
Nation of domination. All right, we got Jacob Faria of the Tampa Bay Rays visiting Ricky Nolasco of the Los Angeles Angels. What you got, Joe?
Yeah, Jacob Faria seems like somebody that would be in like the Nation of Domination, or like Farouk. You know what I mean? Like, let's see. White Sox team WOBA is 14th in the last 30 days, but I haven't had that split, so I'm not sure. But anyways, Faria, I would like him in normal situations, but the Angels don't strike out that much. They're getting the big fish back, so I'm off of Faria tomorrow. I know some other people might like him. I don't. I'm gonna just. You could succeed tomorrow with Jacob Faria. I'm not going to. And then on the other side, you know, Ricky Nolasco, he can get blown up, and he got blown up like his last start, I think, in Texas. So the lefty bats, I love Dickerson, maybe Malik Smith. I like Lomo, and Kobe Rasmus went away from the team. I don't know if you heard that. And you know, Longoria's cheap, so I like the Rays a little bit, especially late night. I don't think many people are going to have them. So yeah, that's what I got on this game. Obviously, Trout's back, so if you want to play Trout, he's the big fish.
He's a big fish. What you got, Paulie?
I love Faria in this spot. The kid's been great. He hasn't had a single bad start since he came up, and you know, he's got great movement on his pitches. I don't think, you know, like I think maybe like third time around the order, maybe a guy like Trout could get to him, but that's like the only guy I'm worried about. So if Trout hits one solo home run, but Faria goes 7, strikes out 8, you know, he's possibly could have one of the best starts on the slate. This is one of the stadiums we.
Paulie, you know how many times Faria has gone 7 innings? Once. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know, and he's only struck out. I mean, the thing is, I don't see the strikeout outside. I mean, every time they say don't attack the Angels, they don't strike out. So I don't know. That's why I'm off of them. That's why.
Go to that 30-day page you were looking at and see who's striking out the 6 most in the last 30 days as a team.
Is it the Angels?
Yeah.
Can I guess real quick? Is it the Angels?
The Angels, you know. So, you know, I don't have Faria's numbers in front of me, but every performance has been good. Yeah, they probably had a tighter leash when he first came up, and it's probably getting looser now that he's proven himself. You know, I'd like to have a favorable umpire as well, and it's more of like a DK pitcher too kind of spot, but like I love it. Like I don't think he'll give up more than 2 earned runs, and I think the Rays will get to Nolasco, so it'll be in line for the win. And you know, if there's ever a time to like pick on Trout, it's probably the first day off the DL.
Right.
And you know, I like this kid, man, and I'm not sure what his price is on either side, but I know it's not very high. And you know, on DraftKings, he's one of my favorite SP2s.
He's 8,200. He's 8,200 on DraftKings, 8,500 on FanDuel.
Right.
Yeah, so like 6th, 7th, 8th most expensive. That's fine. I like the Tampa Bay a little bit. I did some profiling today, and only like Souza, Ramos, and Longoria really looked good. And Nolasco just throws a ton of sliders and splitters, and Steve Souza really looked good, and Nolasco actually gives up his power to righties. So I like that one-off. We saw Souza, just explode this year in the home run department. This is a big ballpark, that marine layer. This is one of the lower over-unders on the slate. It's mostly going to be a pass outside of my interest in Faria for me.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. All right, we got one more game, guys. We got Johnny Cueto of the San Francisco Giants visiting Clayton Richard of the San Diego Padres.
Yeah, I know Cueto's been bad, but his career BVP against these Padres, they're hitting 169 off of him. So I just think that he'll just be overlooked, and the Padres can strike out a lot. So why not? Everybody knows he has that upside to throw 8 innings and strike out 12. Everybody knows that, and he could be like Paxton tomorrow. He could be the forgotten guy because he's 9,000. You're not gonna, there's Carrasco at 9.5. There's Paxton at 9.2. There's Verlander and Gonzalez right around him too. You're just not gonna, you got Pauly D. Faria at 85.
Pauly D. Faria. What?
So yeah. So I think that I kind of like Mr. Cueto tomorrow as a GPP. I will not play him in cash at all. He is not in the circle of trust for a long time. So, but yeah, you just hope that let me see. He's only pitched once. He pitched once against San Diego this year, and it was like his best start. Yeah, it was. 46 points.
And they skipped his last start, so he's got a ton of rest. I agree. I think this is a spot where Cueto kind of regains his form, a weaker opponent. If he gets a favorable ump, I like it even more. Late night hammer. I doubt people are going to go here because he's just either more expensive than guys that are perceived to be better and that actually are better. He's really probably towards the end of his career, but this spot's great for him. And, I'll probably have a bunch of him here, especially on DraftKings. I think, he's going to be super low owned. The strikeout upside is there. And I like some of the giant bats, so I think he'll be in line for the win also.
Yeah. I think that's some pretty good takes there, man. It's been a while. We had a lot of baseball to get through. We spent some time catching up on the TV shows, which is obviously we had to get that out of the way. That was just a cloud over our head, and we just had to clear it and just drain it.
Yeah.
And we did that. So.
Real quick. Hunter Pence and Buster Posey, great spots tomorrow. I'm going to be playing a bunch of that. Yeah. So, get those guys.
Also, one thing that we didn't mention we talked about the White Sox. Let's remember what happened in the White Sox last game. Kyle Freeland almost pitched a no-hitter against them.
Exactly, they're a lefty.
In Colorado.
And he struck out Colorado.
And he struck out 10.
Yeah.
He struck out like 10.
Yeah, and I looked like an ass.
This is James Paxton. Yeah. He's a beast. He's gonna dominate.
Yeah, it's I'm with you there. Hey man, it's good. It's nice to have you guys back, man. It felt good. It felt really
good. The boys are back.
That's it. That's exactly what it was.
Fun.
Listen, guys, we have a couple awesome things that are going to be happening with the website over the next few weeks or so. But what we have going on now is, number one, as of tomorrow morning, you guys will see we have a new pitching model. We have transferred the stats over to the X-Stats to match the hitters model. So we're going to have that up for FanDuel and DraftKings by the time you're listening to this in the morning. For those of you who are not live with us, you'll see it up there fully functional for paid subscribers. Remember, there's a day pass, a week pass, and a monthly pass. Check it out, WiseTake.com. Also, today we actually launched our coaching packages. So you get an opportunity. You can purchase a 1, 3, or 5 pack coaching session with Patio Joe and or Paulie D. So you definitely want to check those out if you go to the WiseTake page. If you go to under strategy on the menu or right on the homepage, you'll see a little option for coaching. But you want to check out some of the packages. Obviously, if you buy 1, you're paying full price. If you buy 2, you can get a little discount. And the best value package is to pay for 5. If you buy 5, the 5th one is actually you don't pay for. So you basically end up paying for 4 sessions. So if you want coaching directly, they're one-on-one sessions. They can be done through Skype, phone call, or through the chat feature on the WiseTake website. But yeah, we have the features on there. Feel free to reach out to myself, reach out to Joe or Paulie if you're interested, and we can explain a little bit more about it. But I'm excited for it, man. I'm excited for our subs to get a chance to really learn it the right way. We got Paulie with the GPP expertise, the large field, higher dollar. We got Joe with the cash game, like bankroll management, cash games, low dollar GPPs. So it's we have a good team here, man. I'm excited.
Great cash, homie.
Don't forget, tomorrow, back to business. It's Friday, so it's going to be the last live stream. We're going to go right into a break. But still, don't miss the live stream tomorrow. Don't miss the articles. We're going to have, for subscribers only, we're going to have Straight Cash Homie, obviously, with Patio Joe. We're going to have Attacking GPP with Paulie D, a.k.a. Paulie 8Ds. That's what I like to call them. And so that'll be for the premium members only. Q's has his article, The Hot or Not. We keep that free for you guys. That'll be out. And we got a bunch of great stuff. We're still building our team. We got a lot of exciting things coming. So go to WiseTake.com. Sign up for whatever package you like. Hopefully the monthly package. I would recommend it. You're going to save yourself some money. And I don't know. Once you come on here and you get a little taste of this content, the stuff we got going on here, I think you'll be satisfied. I don't think you're going to want to go anywhere else. So anyway, guys, you guys have anything to say in closing?
Dude, it's Friday. Have fun. Okay, and also probably I'll probably have a little bit more of an inclination more on this how I'm going to be, but I'm going to go a little bit lighter tomorrow.
Okay.
Just because of the pricing so soft.
Right.
And it's a first day back, so everybody's going to try and play too. So spend your money wisely because there could be some good spots to make money, but don't just throw it in everywhere and see what happens because you haven't played in 4 days.
Yeah, for sure. Paulie, anything from you?
Meet me in the premium chat tomorrow, 5:30 to 6:30. I love this slate. I'm gonna have it broken down, soup to nuts, and we're gonna cash hard tomorrow. I really believe it. I love this slate.
There you go. So don't miss the articles. Don't miss the premium live stream. We do another one of these live streams only for our premium subscribers. So you're not going to want to miss that. We will have Patio Joe, Paulie, myself, and we'll have our research done, and we'll be prepared to kind of tell you our true thoughts of the slate. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's been fun. Glad to be back. Glad to have the guys back. And anyway, for Paulie, for Joe, myself, as always, good luck.
Yeah.